Hi BookTube, it's Missy. Hope you don't mind the lighting. I wanted to stick with the scary theme, and because this is supposed to look like my book review, if I added the bright lights I would have been too white. So I didn't want to do that. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my weekly wrap-up for week. I read 4 books last week, so go me. I did 4 books the previous week too, so I'm really excited. I have a few more days left before the month is over, and hopefully I can get another book finished by then. But for this week, let me share with you guys what I read. So the first 2 books are audiobooks, so I'm going to have to put them here. The first book is Chaos, which is the 3rd and final book in the Guardians of the Shadowland trilogy by Sarah Fine. This book, God. Have I told you guys how much I hate Layla? I hate her. Malachi, perfection. Anna, even Takashi, shoot. Anna's love. All the characters in Sarah Fine's trilogy are amazing, but Layla, I can't stand her. Okay, so this trilogy is about a girl named Leela who is put into the foster care system because her mom ends up being really sick. She has schizophrenia and she can no longer take care of her daughter. So about 5 years old, the mom abandons her and Layla's stuck in the system. Now, all of her parents, foster parents, are really bad, and so she goes back and forth through all these different homes. And the very last home that she's in, the foster dad molests her a lot, constantly, and finally she just can't take it anymore, and so I don't think she kills him. I think she just hurts him really, really badly, and so she ends up having to go to juvie. Now this is in Rhode Island. I don't know if any of this stuff is real, if these are real juvie places or what have you, but she goes to juvie, she does her time, and then she's now enrolled in school, and she's trying to get her life back and forget about the past and work forward. And so she meets this girl Nadia and becomes best friends with her, and so for a whole year she's perfect, she's content with her life. But Nadia's got a secret, and Layla doesn't know what it is, and then one day Nadia kills herself, and Layla's devastated. And so she ends up having these bad dreams, and she keeps thinking that she sees Layla in hell because she, committed suicide, and decides that she really legitimately thinks that this is real. And so she goes to this quiet place that she, goes to think, and the wind blows her off the cliff and she dies. And she ends up in heaven. But while she's in heaven, she sees this dark city landscape in the background, and it keeps pulling her towards the place, and she realizes, oh my God, this must be the place where suicide people go, and I know Nadia's in there. I just know it. I need to find her and save her and bring her back to, this beautiful countryside, which is heaven. I need to get her out of there. And so Layla makes that her new mission to save Nadia, and while she's in there, she meets a couple people that are willing to help her, and the story continues from there. So the book was amazing. I absolutely loved it. I think I gave it 4 stars, 4 or 5 stars, but I think it's 4. But I just loved that whole thing. Layla wasn't obnoxious yet. She was super kick-ass girl. I will do everything I can, and I don't need your help, and I'm gonna do it. And it was great. And I loved the paranormal aspect. I loved the way that the dark city was described and how hell was, and I just loved all of that stuff. And then the second book came out and I was like, ugh, I don't know if I like this. And then the third book came out, which is Chaos, which is the one I read. And the first, I don't know, I can't even tell you. It's like the whole book was great if you were to just cover her mouth. Like if she was just mute, it would have been the best book ever, because all she does is cry and whine. But it's like, just, it was too teeny bopper whiny pants for me, and pity party, and I can't do this, and I give up, and I wasn't having it. I think I gave it 3.5 stars, maybe 4 stars, because overall the book was amazing. I just absolutely despised Layla. If you are interested in reading a book about hell and the many different areas of hell, then definitely check this book out. There's villains in here that's really, really creepy that were described beautifully. They have these like crazy rituals that are just awesome. I loved everything about it except for the main character. All right, and then the next book that I read on audio and finally finished was Gumption by Nick Offerman, and the full title is called, let me see, it's called Gumption, Relighting the Torch of Freedom with American what did I write? Oh, America's Gutsiest Troublemakers. Okay, so I took a bunch of pictures, and I will kind of like just randomly show them to you while I'm giving you this review. So I really, really liked this book. It is a nonfiction, and it is about 21 Americans that kind of inspired like, I don't know, humanity, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but just, gosh, if you know who Nick Offerman is, this book is just amazing. And I really, really want to read his first novel, which is like canoeing or paddle your own canoe or something like that. I'll show a picture. Okay, so 21 inspiring gumption-filled Americans. So the first like 5 people that Nick talks about are our forefathers. So there's George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, there's Theodore Roosevelt, there's Frederick Douglass, and a couple other people. All brilliant. I never liked American history in high school or whenever you learn it. Like, I think you learn it middle school too a little bit. But I absolutely hated learning about American history. I thought it was so boring. But reading this and learning about what these Americans did for us and like for our rights and how they never did anything half-assed. It was like they put their whole, you know, mind, body, soul, blood, sweat, tears into everything that they did, and they had this passion, and they didn't care what the consequences were. They strived to do good, and I loved that. And then the rest of the people are artists and musicians and actors and like builders of boats and bridges, and just people who are passionate about what they love, and they are generous, and they give, and they have something to offer you spiritually, mentally, and it's just, everything was so good. I learned so much about these people that made me want to actually like go out and learn more. And there's also people in here that you have heard of, like, you know, actresses and actors and comedians and stuff that are from, well, my I guess modern days. There's lots. There's the past, and then a little bit I'm losing myself here. There's the past, and then of course there's still the past, but the more recent past, and then right now, which is modern days. So anyways, definitely check this book out if you are interested in a really good nonfiction. It's not a memoir, but Nick is amazing, and I read this book fairly quickly. I think it took me 2 days to read like 80% of the book, and then the other 20% of the book, I finally got it from the library on audio, and I finished off the book listening to Nick and his voice, and he's so articulate and eloquent, and I just loved it. He's got a great voice, and I wish he would have laughed in this audiobook, because that's like my favorite part about him. He's got the goofiest laugh that makes me laugh, and so I loved it. All right, on to the physical books. So Sunday, I finished this awesome anthology. So good. So this is Slash Girls and Monster Boys. Stories selected by April Genevieve Cholk and written by all these amazing YA authors. Now, my favorite short stories in here are from Jay Kristoff, and it was just so good. And it was kind of, well, I don't want to give it away because that'll be like, just read it. Just know that Jay Kristoff's story and Carrie Ryan's story was absolutely amazing. But I also enjoyed Kendar Blake's story, Jonathan Mayberry's story, April Genevieve Cholk's story, Megan Shepard's, and A.G. Howard's. They were all really, really good, but those 5 or 6 were my favorites, and then the first 2 that I said were my, like, 1 and 2 out of all of the awesome stories. So basically, like I said, my voice is getting all dry, or my throat from talking. So they are psychological thrillers. There is some horror. There is some paranormal. There's like super, like, not even scary at all the way up to, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Just amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. A story for everybody. Everybody. Just read this book. It was genius. And finally, the last book that I read last week, I finished in a day. I started it Sunday afternoon, finished it Sunday night, and that is Project 17 by Lori Ferrara Stollers. And this was really, did I give it 3.54 stars? Something like that. 3.54 stars because it wasn't scary enough. This is about a small town that has like this famous mental hospital or asylum that is in their town, and this asylum's been up, not running, but like just standing forever, and there's like this huge cult following, like people, you know, want to go check it out, yada yada. The high school kids usually go over there to like party, and this kid, which I can't remember his name at the moment. Why can't I remember his name? Where is it? Oh, well, maybe if I open the book. Derek. So Derek finds out that this asylum is going to be closing, like completely bulldozed down and turned into like apartments and stuff in a week. And not only does he find that out, but he also hears about this contest that's going on for kids that are about to graduate high school, so that way they can earn an internship in like a reality TV show and like learn how to, you know, produce TV shows and learn how to, you know, film and all that other stuff. And Derek's really, really excited because basically, because he's the second child, he has to do the family business, which is run this diner that his parents own. And his parents didn't just own it, like his grandparents owned it, and like the grandparents before that also owned it, I believe. And so he's just like, I don't want to be, you know, a food prep my whole life. I don't want this diner. I want to live my dreams in LA. I want to, you know, make movies and stuff. So he decides that he's going to do a reality TV show in this asylum with random high school kids. And that's what happens. So he gets a bunch of kids together. They all go to this asylum one night, and they walk around, and the scary creepiness ensues. If you've read Return to the Dark House or Welcome to the Dark House, it's the same thing because it's a duology. If you've read those two books, then you'll be familiar with the POV in this one. And this is only the second story series kinds of thing that I've read by Lori. So I don't know if she does this with all of her books, but there's a multitude of POV. So for instance, you get like the person's name and then what they've said. And there was Derek and Liza and Tony and Mimi and one other kid. What was the other kid's name? Chet. So there's 5 kids in this asylum, and you know, hear the voice of each character and what they think about this asylum and what they think about Derek's idea about making this film and all that stuff. I loved the atmosphere. It was very creepy, but there wasn't enough scare factor, like scare tactics, scare factors. I wasn't scared enough. This was pretty tame. So yeah, if you want to read an asylum book and you're new to horror, I would definitely check this out because, like I said, it is pretty tame, but it is still creepy. So yeah, and it's super short. So I gave it 3.5 or 4 stars. Okay, and that's it. That was the 4 books that I read last week, and that is it. So, by the way, all of this is eyeliner, and foundation. That's it. Eyeliner and foundation. So there's lots of stuff that you can do with eyeliner and just foundation. What are you guys going to be for Halloween? Let me know down below. Did you like the dressing up of the videos? I know because I wanted to dress up for all these videos, there was less videos a week, and I do apologize for that, but I wanted to have fun, and let's make it more poofy. So yeah, I hope you guys had a wonderful week, and I will talk to you tomorrow for my Friday reads. Talk to you then. Thanks for watching.